Welcome to the Financial Freedom Mastermind Group podcast. Here we're all about breaking free from the 40 to 50-year work grind and accelerating our journey towards financial freedom. Join us every Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern as we explore different types of investments that can fast-track your path to financial independence. We serve as a hub for connecting with fellow members during our sessions so you can share successes, ask questions, and keep the momentum going.
Hello, this is Niyi Adewole, host of the Ekabo Home Financial Freedom Mastermind Group. And I'm excited to join you guys from a coffee shop where you can hear somebody crying over the speakers. I'm not joining from my computer right now because it's kind of acting up. But this is the amazing thing about having technology and being able to work anywhere is you can make it happen. And so this is going to be an open session today. It's Wednesday, where we just jump in and we cover what you have top of mind and what you're talking about. So I'm excited to jump in. So we'll see who joined and see where the conversation goes. Lex, how you doing?
Hey, Nee. How are you
Come
doing?
on now. I'm super good. Who is this?
This is Rotique.
This is Rotique, man.
You never met him, my husband.
Hey, good to meet you, man. How you doing?
Good to meet you too. I'm doing amazing. What about you?
I'm super good. And please excuse the background noise. My computer's malfunctioning. I'm sitting in a coffee shop that is getting a little loud, but it's good to see you guys.
Hey, the noise cancellation is blocking it out, so you good. I can tell.
Hey, come on now. Hey, no, I appreciate it.
You're doing amazing. You say you're doing good too?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. And I love doing these calls because, again, we get to jump on and talk real estate and what you're trying to do. And I know that you guys are searching for this short-term rental. How's it coming?
So that's a good question. That's the whole reason we hop on the call right now. So my wife has been meeting and talking with you guys for the most part, and kind of been coming back to me and saying, hey, this is the deal we're looking to grab. And then I'll look at the deal, but I'll look at the deal and I have my perspective or my thoughts. I'm not a real estate investor by any means necessary, but I'm asking questions that are good questions to her. And she's like, well, we need to hop on a call, with the man himself and kind of dive into these questions.
Please.
So the way it's coming along is, to make a long story short, we're looking to make sure we find a property that's like desirable, right? That someone can look at and be like, yo, I want to stay there. But we don't know what those factors are. So outside of the actual numbers, cap rate, rental to
purchase price. Yeah, we got all the numbers down pat.
We got the numbers down pat. But what we're realizing is that when we do look at some of these properties are like going crazy, and some of them are like, and where I'm kind of looking at it like, okay, cool. Based off what she's bringing to me, I'm like, baby, I'm thinking the properties are desirable because of certain factors. What are those factors? I don't know, but it's outside of the numbers. It's looking like it's more so of a domestic thing, like maybe having a mountain view without trees blocking, or when you walk up to the home, the sex appeal or the appeal of the home, not sex appeal, I said sex appeal. I'm tripping, but anyway. You kind of
or the wood interior versus drywall.
Exactly. I realized like the wood interior of the cabin homes versus the drywalls seem to be asking for more demand when it comes to rent, right? When it comes to the not rent, but what is it called?
The ADR.
The daily rate. Again, I'm no mortgage expert, but just more so sharing my thoughts and my opinion. What we're running to is not understanding what factors that we should be considering outside of the numbers.
Yeah.
So that's really where we are right now, from the vacation home in Helen and Blue Ridge and Dahlonega area to the properties potentially in Atlanta, Georgia. We're just trying to figure out from an appeal standpoint, because we are talking about selling the house. That's what we're really selling, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. You're selling the house, but also the experience. And this is where, and I'm happy you brought this up, this is where a lot of people, especially those that are a little bit newer to it, make the mistake, right? So you're looking at the house, which is great, but you also have to look at how are you going to design this thing and what are you going to bring to it? A lot more than the case. Like the house itself is just the base. You need to be able to fit X amount of people in it, and you need to have certain spaces. And you don't want it to look crazy beat up, right? But it's really about that design piece that's going to take it to another level. And so what I'm going to do, because I think this worked now, but it's going to be a little loud. I'm going to switch over to my desktop. And it's going to switch in 5, 4, 3, 2. It's going to work. Okay, see if this thing.
It worked.
Okay. Hey, can you hear me? outside the background noise?
It's actually better than what it was the first time.
Really? Okay, this computer's better. Nice. So, all right, what I want to do is I'm actually under contract with a different client on a short-term rental. And so I'll just show you what that house looks like and how we run the numbers to find out like, hey, this is the one that makes the most. Actually, we'll use one that closed, right? This is one that closed recently, right? This one that closed like last week. So when you look at homes, right? I'll pull this up.
And I'm sorry, how do you pronounce your name? I don't want to.
It's Niyi like kneecap.
Niyi. Okay, cool. Niyi, nice to meet you. And my name is Rotique, by the way.
You said Ratis?
Rotique. Yeah, Rotique.
Hey, good to meet you, man.
Good to meet you too. Yes, sir. Niyi.
Okay,
all right,
so
got you.
I love this the conversation because I know you're looking to do that cost seg, so we got to get moving on this. And so let me share my screen. I want to show you this property. This is one we just closed on for a client last week, and this is going to be a short-term rental as well. So you can see my screen, right?
Yes, sir.
So we're going to walk through a couple of things here. So this is a luxury short-term rental, 1725 Childress. And we just closed on it for 735 last week, right? And so when you look at this, the thing that set this one apart the most is it has a pool. What you want to look at when you're looking at comps is the amenities. What are the amenities that they have? Why are they pulling in X amount? And so when we looked at this one, it was a couple things. One, it's a larger house. And so you can fit about 16 people into here. Yes, there's only 5 bedrooms, but with 5,000 square feet, all you got to do is have a designer that's able to incorporate a design where you can put 2 beds in a couple of the rooms while still making it super nice. And you're going to be able to get a lot of people in here, right?
Mm.
So this had a pool, which is what made it justify the price for being able to pull in the most amount. And you have backyard space. So one of the things we're going to be able to do in the backyard is we're thinking about putting mini putt, which nobody has. We're thinking about putting, the grill and things of that nature back there. And we were able to negotiate in this deal, they have some gym equipment and a pool table in here. So some gym equipment, we were able to keep this piece. And they had a pool table in here that's pretty nice. But when you look at the comps, right, you got to go to AirDNA, and I'm sure Eric's been doing this alongside you.
Yeah, Lex been doing that as well. I haven't met Eric yet.
Eric's been doing it.
Yeah, Lex
is a technician, man. He's really good. He was in data analytics for a large multifamily firm for like a decade before he moved over to investing himself and then joining our team. And so AirDNA is where we pull all the data from. When it comes to long-term rentals, you're able to know using like Rentometer and things of that nature exactly what you can get for a long-term rental. And for AirDNA, when you use Airbnbs, when you use software like AirDNA, this is how you know exactly what you can pull in from a short-term rental standpoint. So I'm gonna plug in the zip code 30310, right? Or 30311, which is Cascade. And what we're looking for is the top short-term rentals. And we want to adjust this as well. So what we're looking at is actually the bigger short-term rentals, right? So this listing's a 5-bedroom. So we want to look at maybe 4 bedrooms and bigger. The bathroom we can leave. We want to look at people that are renting the entire place and the whole house. And so when you pull this up, you can see kind of the comps across the board, right? Like, hey, what are these houses doing that are able to house 16 people? That's the key. Housing 16 people and then the amenities. Now, why is this one pulling in 391 and this one pulling in 215? Well, there's 2 reasons. One, we actually manage this one. It's a 10,000 square foot mansion, right? But it has a pool. This one does not. And so when you pull this up, first and foremost, you look at the reviews. That tells you how long they've been around. I don't know about you, but when I stay at places, I don't tend to leave reviews. And so if you have 300 reviews, you've been around for many
wow.
years. This is pretty consistent. That tells you it's been at least minimum 4 or 5 years that this listing has been up, right? And they have 215K in annual revenue, right? And so we're looking at this, and what's differentiating it is it's a bigger home, 8 bedrooms, 4 baths, but they're allowing 16 guests. Now, in the house itself, there's not much special about it. Like, this is actually just okay. It's not really designed really well. Like, you can beat this, right? You can make way more than this. And even in the backyard, when you get back there, they got a pool table though. So it's like, okay, we need to have some games in there. They've got a couple of rooms with multiple beds in there so they can fit more guests.
And I think that's one question too. Like, who's the audience for such a large? Like, who are the people that's actually because the audience is really what it's all about. So who is the individual that's actually looking to stay there? The individuals.
So the cool thing about being in the Metro of Atlanta, so the mountains and the Metro of Atlanta are two different markets, right? For the Metro of Atlanta, you have 30 of the Fortune 1000 companies based here, right? So people are coming for work and to do construction and build. You have the entertainment industry here, right? The Avengers, Stranger Things, all these things were filmed here and are filmed here because all the tax credits. And then you have people just coming to visit Atlanta and have fun with a large group. And so the people that are coming to stay in these type of properties are those that want to have their own privacy and also want to be able to bring a large group in to go and hang out there. We've done family reunions. We've had film crews want to do stuff like that inside some of our houses. At the bigger houses, we've had people like Kai Sanat, Desi, who does a lot of like skits on Instagram, Usher, Monica, come and book our places so that they can go and do films and whatever and photo shoots. And so for the larger homes, you're looking at more luxury. That's what you're pulling in, and you can house more people.
So from a consistency standpoint, I know you have the movie, the films, the you mentioned film, you mentioned you didn't mention families. From a consistency of like the people who book the most, who would that audience be? For, I mean, we don't even plan on getting a home that big though, right? So that probably wouldn't matter, right, for those specific properties, because every property.
Yeah, and I can go into the mountains too. We can talk about the mountains as well, right? Because the mountains is what's going to allow you to be able to put down 10%. I know that's why you're looking more toward that way as opposed to in the metro. But to answer that question, it's mostly going to be just families and people that are booking for random like there's so many reasons that people come to the Metro of Atlanta. It's hard to explain until you're in it. All I can tell you is that when you're looking at the actual comps, these are the ones that we're looking at that you need to beat to be able to pull in the amount that they're pulling in. And the reason that these are doing so well is how many 8-bedroom houses or 10,000 square foot mansions or 6-bedroom houses do you know that you can actually just rent out, right?
Yeah.
For family to come over and things of that nature. Most people are buying these houses to live in. And so when you look at that, that's a key differentiator in and of itself.
Yeah. That's a niche. That's basically the niche of that property. Gotcha.
That's a niche. And it's not even nice. The one that's nice is doing 390K. It does 30 to 40K a month. This one's okay. This one is a 7-bed, 3-bath, 113 reviews, right? 16 people. This is not really nice at all, but it's doing 121K because it's a larger house, right? Like, look at this. You could beat this design, right? Like, this isn't
100%, nothing special.
Nothing special in here. It's just they can house
but it's
a lot
still
of people.
pulling in money. And I think it's because of the size of the. So with us, what would be our niche since we're looking to buy a property that's
in the mountains? So in the
mountains or Atlanta, but I think it's
something on a 4 or 5 bedroom.
A 4 or 5.
Give me a property, one that keep in mind other people are going to see this. So give me one that you're not necessarily targeting, but one that you've looked at in the past, like up in the mountains. You got a property?
We do got a property if you want to purchase in the mountains, but like you said, keep in mind people are going to watch this. It's one that I really, really, really like.
I'm happy to review it, but again, I can show you kind of directionally, like, hey, this is how you look at that and what you're looking from the comps and how we got to beat it.
Yeah.
I can give you one example that we're
cabin.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And I do. I'm sorry. While you're looking at it, I do want to say one thing real quick. So one thing that I did take away from you was the factors outside of the numbers, because I know what you just said was kind of for the bigger property. It's the size, and then in addition to that, I'm sorry, it was a size.
Amenities.
Size and the amenities.
That's the piece. Yeah. So when you're in the mountains, and I want to look at the property that you're looking at, and I can tell you, you don't want to fall into the like, for example, in the Metro of Atlanta, you do not want to have a 3-2, right, or like or a 3, 2.5. That is, there's a max to what you can get there. You either need to go smaller and make it dope, or go large and make it dope, right?
So either like a couples or a family.
Exactly. If you fall in the middle, you're going to make the least amount, even if you make it the most luxury property ever, right? Because there's just too many 3-2s to choose from.
I was going to say that it's just the saturation of those, like that's the most common.
Yes,
that makes a whole lot of sense.
It's common to have these large houses. So in the Metro of Atlanta, that's what we're looking at. In the mountains is a little bit different. There's a bunch of different crowds you can appeal to. The smaller homes up in the mountains, right? Like the 2 bedrooms, 3 bedrooms, those can be the couple getaways. We've helped a couple people buy A-frames up there, and they have been killing it. Like it's booked 24/7 because people seem to like A-frames, right? And so
Yeah.
you got a property I can look at.
Yeah, she's
So
looking
this
for
is
it right
a
now.
good learning experience because this one we actually was gonna put in an offer on it and then we withdrew because we felt like from an exit strategy it would be really hard to sell. So I would like to know like your opinion on that.
And this will let you know too. The reason we felt that way is because the bones of the property, like you ever like the fascia of the property, interior, how it was like it's just weirdly shaped.
No, this was the studio for the couples.
Oh, that was studio for the couples. Oh, I'm sorry. It was. I'm sorry. I'm talking about
So
another.
it's 139 Maple Ridge.
139.
Yeah,
Let me-
Maple Ridge. Remember we put in the offer and then we told Eric to withdraw it
Why?
because we felt like we wasn't going to be able to sell it.
You said 139 Maple Ridge?
Yes, Maple Ridge and Brew.
Maple.
Maple Ridge, Blue Ridge.
This one too, remember?
Blue Ridge or Cleveland?
Oh, Cleveland, I think. Wait, is it the one? Yeah, it's that one.
bed,
It's that one.
bath? Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Fair enough. Okay, so it's a 1 bed, 1 bath. Let me look at exactly where we're here.
Yeah, and they already have it listed on Airbnb.
What were they pulling in? Were you able to find it?
Yeah, I gotta look back at my notes. It was like, I think it was like 50, 60.
Yeah, this is the one. Yeah, this is the one I was saying. This is the same thing I was just saying to him, Bay. I felt like the appeal of the house itself, exterior wise, wasn't appealing. Like 'cause in certain homes I've seen where it was saying come inside, and this one is not giving that. So that was like, and that's not really a decoration thing from my understanding. I don't know everything, but I was just looking at that. But the interior is beautiful. That's saying come stay here, but the exterior wasn't, and that's
The
why I said
exterior is
like,
more modern because it's a new house.
yeah, exactly. So I was just
This is
speaking from
nice.
like a desirability standpoint, thinking about who the specific audience is, which would probably be couples, and how the front part can just be very inviting. Because we've stayed in the mountains in Blue Ridge and Dahlonega because we're a couple and we love doing it. So we wanted to kind of like be desirable to the person who's actually going to stay there.
Yep. Okay, so we're gonna take a look at this. We're gonna break it down live. And the thing you want to do is the opposite of what I was just doing before. So from a listing standpoint, we're gonna take it on the smaller end. We're gonna go 0 to 2 bedrooms because that's the market you'd be going for couples, right? And oops, hold up. One. So we're gonna go studio up to 2 bedroom because we're gonna look at this is your real competition when you're looking at that. So entire place, house, we're gonna apply that, and we're gonna see what the top properties are doing and what they look like.
We need to get Eric DNA.
I thought you had it in there.
No, Eric's just been sending me all the data, but I haven't like.
You need to get it, girl.
So here goes a 1 bed, 1.5 bath, right? 10 minutes to Helen, same zip, right around the Cleveland area. And this is doing 98K annually. And you can feel semi-confident in that because it has 294 days available. But I want to look for a better comp than that because it only has 4 reviews. So I think this is one that's a newer listing, right?
Yeah.
So we put that on the higher end of the spectrum of what you'd probably pull in. But when I look at this one, this has 206 reviews, 2 bed, 2 bath. It can hold 6 people, 71K. So let's pull this one in. Let's look what this looks like.
So what about the reviews?
Because the reviews is something that he's considering as a part of the comparable concept. Like I only want to compare properties that actually
Have some
have
reviews.
traction.
And not even that. So the number of reviews, let's look back at this, right? The number of reviews tells you how long the property's been listed, right? And that tells you how tight the numbers are. And so you look at this one, this is available for 294, but there's only 4 reviews. That tells
Exactly.
me it's not been listed for long. So let's look at this, right? I'm going to scroll down to the review.
So it's like considering that a comparable doesn't really make sense because it's not. You can't say their stability or like
It's been there for a while.
exactly. Like for example, this one, 1 bed, 1 bath. This is a comparable. Why? It says 365 days available, right? The actual revenue was 64.9. It's saying it's going to be around 58 this year, but the actual revenue was 64.9 the past year, and they have 106 reviews. This is literally a comp because that home you're looking at is a 1-1, but yours will be newer. And so what you want to do is look at this and say, hey, what amenities do they have, or what amenities are they lacking, and how can I get it higher from there? So this is how you know. Go ahead.
Got you. Well, what about the exterior? Without the factor I was saying as far as the desirability of the actual skeleton of the home, That's beautiful, by the way. That's hard. The
Yeah,
lake
so
with
this is
the
on the water. That's hard to compete with. You do not want, this is not a comp. This is on the water, right? This is not a comp. It's kind of cool.
yeah,
Now the
it
design
is.
inside, this is very basic. Like they literally just put whatever in here, and
They
it's
got
very
that
dark
lake.
Because they got that lake. That's
because they
why.
got the lake. Because they got the lake, they're pulling their money anyway. But go ahead. You were gonna say, sorry.
Yeah, so going back to that property at Maple, so you're looking for a comparable to that property right now. But one of my questions is because of how that property is shaped, like to me, and I could be wrong, it doesn't look inviting. Does
Yeah.
that make a difference in the desirability of the home, considering that's really one of our biggest focal points? I want to make the property as desirable as as possible. That way it can
Now,
rent really well.
desirability takes into account a lot of things. The exterior, sure, but you got to factor in that you're going to design this place. It's not going to just look how it looks. Like you've got a deck that wraps around that has a decent view, it looks like. And so you're going to want to have amenities on there. If you go put a hot tub on that deck, it looks completely different, right? If you put some a fire pit when you pull up, it looks completely different. And so you just got to think about how you're going to alter it a bit. The thing I would say that I like about that property is that it's freshly built. I think it was built this year. And so you're not going to have any CapEx for a long time, right? Like your CapEx is gone. And I want to switch back to that other property here soon too. CapEx is gone. We may be able to negotiate keeping the furniture in here, right? Because you don't just put a pool table in the stage. So you may be able to keep some of the stuff here. When I look at this is more of like what they're
One
doing.
second, we had a call come in. We had to come back.
Do you think?
Okay, we're good now. We're back on.
Okay. So when I look at this, right, and they have I think this is a hot tub. I want to say this is a hot tub. Yeah, it's a hot tub with water
But
connected.
they're leaving that stuff.
Oh, nice. So you already have amenities that are built in. That's a huge key, right? To saving you money. And then let's look at the acreage. And it's on a 1.5 acre lot. So what I'd be focused on is putting amenities outside of there, right? So they already got a little fire pit. What else can you put outside of there to make it dope? And I'll show you an example of one that we helped a client purchase, A-frame, and show you what he did. But this home right here, Purple Air, this is a 1-bed, 1.5 bath, I want to say. 204 reviews, they're pulling in 65K. This is a really good comp for what you can expect to pull in, right? So you're looking at this, they got a nice little jacuzzi thing. It's nice. The bathrooms aren't as nice as the new one, right? And they got carpet going down. They do have a pool table. They have some nice views. They have a hot tub. So this is a comp, right? When you look at that property, you look at this comp, I'd say you can roughly expect to pull in about 65K if you keep it sort of similar. But what I want to do is stop sharing for a second. And I want to show you an example of Joel. Welcome, man. How you doing?
Man, feeling blessed, bro. Good to see you. Good to see you.
Good to see you. We missed you at the pickleball tournament, man.
Yeah, man. Had some other stuff on the schedule, man. But it's cool.
That is fair. That is fair. I wouldn't want to get whipped either. I get it. No, I'm playing. Okay, let me pull this one up. Give me 1 second. So this one is excellent. And I hope my guy doesn't get mad, but it's just free marketing for him. He killed this house. This is a home that's going to do about 150 to 160K this year up in the mountains. Okay, can you see my screen now?
It's loading.
Yep, it's loading. Okay, there we go.
Okay, so we helped my guy do. You saw this one?
Yeah, it's really nice.
So we helped him buy this one. We helped my guy put this one, gave him designers and things of that nature. The house itself is cool. It's an A-frame, but it's what he did on the outside. Like this little snow globe over here, right? With the heated, the little screen. Like you see how you can do small things to where it's like, wow, I really want to come and hang out here. Now the whole concept, completely different. You don't got to go with that concept. But what I'm saying is the way
that's fire, bro.
Outside is pretty dope.
And I love the fact it's in.
There's an A-frame for sale right now.
I love the fact it's in Blue Ridge, which is only 1 hour from Atlanta. I mean, I like Helen, but Helen's like 2 hours away. 1 hour away is really that sounds desirable for the Atlanta market.
True. It comes with a different price point, but true.
Yeah,
and then you got saunas out. Like when you start adding these type of things, that other house didn't have a sauna outside. The other house didn't have a snow globe where I can go and have some wine with my wife in this warm globe, right? Like you put those things there, now you're starting to beat that comp. So what you have on there meets the comp that we were looking at before, right? You've got the hot tub, you've got all those things, right? It's kind of cool. And what beats that comp is using that 1.5 acres to just put some stuff around it, right? Who's to say you can't put a sauna next door? Who's to say you can't put some workout equipment, maybe some turf, right? And kind of make it really dope. But that's what we look at.
Now, Niyi, will the resale for like the A-frame be hard to exit because it's so like niche specific?
It's funny. So we helped our first client buy an A-frame 2.5 years ago. And at that time, we were able to get it for about $550. This one was purchased in January this year, and they got it for $650. So those A-frames go up. When you look at the mountains, like we just helped somebody put a deal under contract where we were able to get it for $750, and it's on the river, and it's a bigger house, and the home appraised for $906. Like, it's nuts. So in the mountains, it's a little bit different logic. If you make it a dope short-term rental and you hang on to it, it tends to go up and to the right over time, just because there's a scarcity of how many you can build up there. It's not like new homes are popping up all over, because you got to run electric, you got to run piping. It's not as easy to build up there as it is to build in the city.
Got you.
It's tough up there.
Yeah. Great point.
Did this help at all? I don't know if this
No.
helped.
It definitely did. One thing was the fact that we was not using Air DNA. That's how DNA, right? Yeah.
This is what Eric's doing in the background for you, right? He's not.
Yeah, he is.
When he sends you a property, he's pulling all these numbers saying, hey, this is what it looks like.
Yeah, you should get that done.
Yeah, I get it myself.
And then the other thing that you helped with was more so just mentioning, like I said, the factors outside of the numbers, even though the numbers matter 100%, but the factors outside of the numbers that makes the property desirable, the amenities, and then, like you said, not going from the whole 3-bedroom, 4-bedroom thing, either going big or going small and unique in Atlanta. Yeah. So that definitely helped a whole lot. So with us, I definitely want to do cabin. My wife, she's interested. I'm interested too, whatever you want to do. As far as like doing Atlanta market, making that an option if we have to. But I really want to go to the mountains. Blue Ridge will be hands down where we would love to go. Yeah, that's what we really want to do. So, but to make a long story short, it's just, now that we have this information, we should be able to make a lot more. You think so?
Yes.
Yeah. Because I just was like, babe, I want to make sure we got something that's going to do well. I don't want to do I want to do, because I'm a marketing guy. I'm big on marketing. Marketing and sales is my thing. And we're thinking about, more so creating an Instagram page for the property. And
that's the piece.
Yeah.
If you're gonna do all this, you want to be able to put the amenities in there where you get excited about, like, hey, we're gonna do this video, and you can take it to the next level. And it's not just Airbnb, it's VRBO, Booking.com, your direct site. We'll help you with all that stuff, but it's about finding that property and getting going there. And yeah, if you can find those amenities and add on a couple more that other people may not have that are in the comp range, you're gonna be off to the races into the next level.
Yeah.
Okay.
So one last thing, Niyi, I'm sorry,
And I got one last question too.
When it comes to comparables, I guess the biggest thing is just making sure we find comparables that is in line with the subject property as far as like amenities, because some amenities we can add it and some we don't. Like, for example, like a mountain view versus a non-mountain view, that will make a big difference, right?
Exactly. Like that lake one, we had to eliminate that, right? We're not on a lake. All right?
Yeah.
And that lake property is going to cost a bit more. But if it's an amenity that you can add, you keep it in there. For example, the property with the pool in Atlanta, that's a huge differentiator. There's not many properties with pools. When you have a pool, immediate 6 figures, immediate. Like, you're immediately going to get 6 figures. And the mountains, if you're able to have some of these other pieces, right? Whether it be a view, whether it be, hey, we're near a river, it's hard to replicate that. So yeah, that's an important piece.
Got you. And the last question I got for you, and I appreciate you so much. Thank you for your time. The question I got for you is, when it comes to the factors outside of the amenities, is there any other factors you would say is largely need to be like things you need to be considering outside of the actual amenities?
Outside of the actual amenities, just the design in general. And to that point, did we connect you with the designer, or did you say you had a designer?
No, we don't have a designer. We need a designer.
Okay. We'll send you the contact for that individual that we utilize for a lot of our properties and for clients, but would highly recommend at least having a conversation, because I've put a couple together myself, at least the first 2 or 3 that I did. One, it took a lot longer than you think. And 2, just when you're doing all that and in the weeds, it's hard to take a step back and say, hey, does this all kind of mesh together? And what are we going for here? It's better to have an expert that does this all the time so that you can stand out. And that's why that A-frame looks crazy, right? Because he had a designer come in and just, hey, this is what we're going to do. And he's like, dude, I'm pulling in money.
Yeah. Okay. And would you recommend speaking to that designer now or like wait
when we're under contract?
Wait until we're under contract.
Probably when you're under contract, but we can connect you now just so that you can be ready for it. But when you're under contract is when you want to talk to them so they can actually look at that and give you some ideas. Like, hey, this is what we do here, and go from there.
Okay, cool. Anything else you want to add? Nah, man, this was good, man. This was really good.
Come on, I see you in the Tesla, man.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. I see the
This is what I
sunroof.
know. Thank you, bro. Thank
Uh-huh.
you. This is what I know we needed, though. This is what I knew we needed to just gain more insight. Because me and my wife together, we make an amazing couple. But I just wanted to just dive into the specifics of the factors outside of numbers, because she was hitting the numbers in the head. But I'm like, hey, that probably don't look too appealing to me, you know. And I want to make sure we dial that in too. So this definitely helped with that. Is there anything else you wanna add? Okay, cool.
Come on.
All right.
No, I'm pumped for you guys. I think this is going to be an awesome journey. And the key is right now, just getting it up and running before end of year so you can still get those tax credits, because that is a huge savings. Believe me, I know you're looking at that. It's a lot going on.
Yeah, 100%, definitely. Okay, cool, man. Well, we'll be in contact, and I appreciate you a lot. Thank you, man. I hope you're having a good day, man. Had a good day.
Hey, come on now. Be safe. We'll catch you later.
For sure.
Thanks,
all right,
man.
bro. Peace, man.
Okay. See ya. Joel, how you doing, man?
Man, I'm feeling good, bro. Having a blessed time over here.
Come on now. What you working on?
Man, shoot, these days, but I'm trying to get this. So I'm over here finalizing my funding for the Airbnb property I'm trying to get started up.
Nice. Yep.
And I just got on the final call. So now I got the team. I signed over the paperwork, signed the agreement. So now they're getting everything worked out on the back end for funding purposes.
Nice.
That's where I'm at now. Now I'm just looking for a good location to do my first Airbnb outside of this home.
Come on now. I'm excited for you. And are you targeting metro? Or are you targeting like mountains? What are you targeting for?
Right now, for the first one, I'm looking for just the metro Atlanta area, specifically probably a location around the Brave Stadium. Just to get
Marietta.
Yeah, Marietta, Sandy Springs area, somewhere not too close to Atlanta where there's a lot of maybe more ordinances and restrictions around short-term rentals. Looking for an Airbnb-friendly building to start, just to kind of get my feet wet, do with the process, find my cleaners, and kind of get the systems up in place. Have the business structure and everything, LLC formation, and going to be having the accounts and stuff. So just really trying to get started just to kind of get a system going so that way I can just replicate it after this one.
Come on now. And I know we talked about it before. Arbitrage is not necessarily my thing, only because I want to own the land. But if it's the first one to try to get started and see if you like this thing, I'm all for it. And I gotta brag on Marietta, like on that whole area. So here, I'm gonna share my screen. This is one that I have. And can you see my screen?
Yeah.
This is one that I have up there. We put together a couple years ago.
Sheesh.
We made it sports themed because, you got the ATL battery, and we purposely chose Marietta because you're not paying the same prices as Smyrna and Vinings, but you're still only 15 minutes away from the battery. I had one of my guys who's an artist, he put all his art in here. We put QR codes so people can buy his art, and he did some cool murals on the wall. And it's been jumping, especially during the summers. There's a lot of people for bigger homes that come up for like baseball tournaments, like travel. You know how you growing up, you play like travel basketball or AAU or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
There's like AAU baseball. I'm not a baseball guy, so I even know this, but they travel up like crazy during the summer, and they stay in homes like this near the Cobb Center, Sports Center, and they just play games. So like your calendar will be fully booked well in advance for this type of stuff.
Yo, man, that is dope, man.
Come on now.
Yeah, it's a nice sporty experience, it seems like.
Yeah, it's all about trying to, create that experience for your guest. Either that or you got to compete on cost. If you can create an experience that's like, hey, I'll pay a bit more to go and stay there, that's ideal. Other than that, you got to compete on cost, and that's not where you want to be. You don't want to be fighting for the bottom.
Yeah, what? Can you repeat that part? You was talking about fighting for the bottom.
Yeah, you want to make sure that your spot, as far as when you look at the comparables, is just a step higher, right? You want to make it shoot for more of the luxury, like the top of the market. Because if you fall into that bottom 80%, it's a rush to the bottom. Now people are trying to negotiate with you on price, and it's a lot going on as opposed to being able to call your shot, right? To an extent. Now you're talking about going after smaller units, right? Like a 1-bedroom, 2-bedroom?
Yeah, just to get started. Smaller, like 1-bedroom, 2-bedrooms, just to start out.
Okay, it works. It works. There's going to be a cap on how much you can charge, right? Because at a certain point, it's like, okay, I'll just go get a house, right? Or a 3-bedroom, but it can definitely work. The only other piece I would watch out for, and I know you're probably already doing this, is some of these buildings try to double dip, right? Like you'll be paying rent, but then they'll also say, hey, we need 25% of what you're bringing in from an Airbnb perspective as well. Like, hey, we're Airbnb friendly, but we need 25% of that. And that would kill a business, right? Because that 25% is what you're using to pay the cleaners. It's a part of your profit and things of that nature. And so just be careful of that. Like, make sure you fully know, like, hey, what are we doing here? And are they actually going to play ball with you and not take you out of the business?
Oh yeah, 100%. Definitely, definitely running the numbers, making sure everything, especially these agreements being signed, because I noticed that with a lot of these buildings, they have change in management, and so they may not be agreeing to the original terms. So definitely going to make sure those legalities are in place too.
Come on now, I'm pumped for you though. What's the goal of getting started?
You talking about numerical, like month to month?
Yep.
Well, profits for the first one, profits anywhere from maybe 19 to 2,200, if possible, just starting out consistently. And then shoot from there, we'll see what. And then I was telling you, of course, about once I get this in place and then, work around to, of course, I'm going to try to get some more properties in terms of ownership. But then also then once I get everything set in terms of the systems, taking it internationally as well.
Come on now. That's the stage that we're at, trying to go international. And Mong, how you doing?
Yes, yes. I'm doing well. Thank you for asking.
Come on now. How is the property search coming and what's top of mind?
It's going well. I'm actually kind of still debating on like different cities that I want to invest in, and then like short term versus long term. And with all of the changes in my life that I potentially gonna move soon somewhere to house hack, which is also on the down the line. So yeah, there's just a lot of things going on to see what's my next step.
Well, Mong, I know I've said this before and I've pitched Atlanta to you before. But we would
Yes.
love to have you down in the South. And there's just a lot of good things going on here. And so when you're looking at different cities, other than work, what else are you considering from a city standpoint? Are you looking for a place where you can continue to invest over time, or what's top of mind for you?
Yeah. I think I was going for example, my first one was in Austin, which was like a very hot market back in early 2020, 2021.
Pandemic. Yep.
Yeah, and then now, it was like overpriced a little bit at that time, and then now I'm kind of and then I started to explore North Carolina, which is also a hot state for population growth and all of the industries growing, like finance or the or like the Riley area. And then now I moved to Seattle because of kind of work. And I also started to explore Ohio because it was really like part of my looking at my portfolio, right? Like I have different places I want to diversify it, but also in the portfolio, you also want different types of properties, right? There are the appreciation ones, there are the cash flow ones, and different cities also have its own strategy. So yeah, I'm kind of just looking at what's my next step. I was considering like Burr to start for my next project, but honestly, it's kind of probably requires some like work, more energy. So I'm kind of hesitating maybe start the first one small in somewhere in Ohio, just like a cheap one before I get into like a bigger or projects or like a multifamily kind of deal. So yeah, Atlanta is definitely on my list. I know it's also a pretty hot market, and then I have a couple friends actually owns property there, and I saw them like getting one or two, and then I had a friend who actually has a condo there for maybe 4 years now, and it's been going pretty well. So it's also always on the top of the list of attracting the most investors at the moment. So also still on my list, on my brain, but I think as you mentioned before, Atlanta is definitely probably more competitive and with a lot of the investors with more opportunities and also higher risk as well. So I am looking, I am exploring, but at this point I'm like, let me try something small and just to get my foot wet, and then get some bigger things when I'm more confident with more like either renovation or some like flips down the line.
I would say two things, right, to that. One, when you look at Ohio, like people get attracted to Ohio for the same reason I was attracted to Louisville, Kentucky, which is the
Mhm.
purchase price. Like, man, you can go get
Right.
a what for how much? The first triplex I bought, which was a house hack, was $190,000 for a triplex, 3 units. And it
Yeah.
wasn't like just, sticks. You know, it was legit triplex, and it was amazing. That was back in 2016. You can't do that anymore. But that house came with a lot of weird quirks. And 4 years later, when I sold it, I was able to sell it for about 100K more, which is awesome in a lot of respects. Whereas in Atlanta, I bought a fourplex in 2023, and it's already worth a little over 100K more right now, right? We just got it reappraised because we're going for a refinance to lower our interest rate, and it's nuts. And so when you look at some of those markets and going smaller, absolutely there's a game plan and a play in there. But if you're not going to stay in that market long term, I'd more be focusing on two things. One, if you're going to be moving, a house hack is a way to limit your risk. You're only putting down 3.5 to 5% on the property, so you're barely in it, and you can run all the numbers on it and get inspections and still pull out of the deal before anything happens. That's one. And then two, I'd be looking to invest also in my backyard where you can go and drive by and see the property and know the neighborhood. So if you're planning to move somewhere, I'd be targeting that city for the investment as well, as opposed to moving somewhere and then still trying to invest further outside of state. If you could marry those two up, what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, actually, I was thinking that as well. I was like, at this moment, because I couldn't really move until like potentially early next year. So at this period of time, because I still have like, I don't know, 3, 4 months left. And that's where I was like, okay, maybe remote or like a long-term investment at this point for me to explore. And then for when I can move again, I'll probably pick a city that's say Atlanta, and then I'll be moving there and then start my explore. And both of the houses will be like different criteria, right? So like my budget probably for like house hack will be higher because I'll be living there, I will have like multifamily versus if I'm doing anything in Ohio, that will be like small, right? Something like 100, 150K, and then something just small for me to start versus like somewhere in Atlanta is probably going to be a little bit higher because I can put lower down payment and also I can live in as well. So that's my plan for now, because literally just like right now, before I can move, I am kind of like looking at the deals that's out of state and cheap. After I move to a city, that would be a completely different strategy that I'm focusing on, like as you said, like house hack. Yeah, I'm kind of just like still exploring the cities, but Atlanta is definitely on my list. The only thing I'm hesitating is that Atlanta is too hot right now. It's very popular. A lot of the investors are in, and then it's on the top of the list for all of the recommended city for investors, right? So it's like the time when Austin was super hot. And it's like, okay, I get it in. Is it gonna be like really high price point and then lock me up, and then the price starts to drop like I don't know down a couple years? That will be my kind of only concern at this moment. But yeah, I was wondering your thought of like, is that like too hot right now for Atlanta for me to like start to consider, or is it still have like a lot of potential to grow?
So the cool thing about investing is it's all about the numbers, right? If you're not looking to sell next year and do a flip, that piece, and you're looking to hold on long term, that piece kind of takes care of itself. What I focus on are, hey, are the fundamentals and do the numbers work on this deal? And then over the next decade, is this somewhere where I want to own? And so when I look at Atlanta versus a lot of other cities, the thing that always stands out is what I mentioned at the top. There's such a diversity in employment here, and so many more people moving their employment out this way for that reason, that it's not like one industry can take Atlanta down, right? It's not like the tech industry could just take Atlanta down, or and things of that nature. Delta's not going anywhere. Home Depot's not going anywhere. As far as I know, Coca-Cola's not going anywhere. FedEx isn't going anywhere. Like all these places are based here, and they're making a lot happen. Even like all that happened with the new administration, right? With like the CDC and things of that nature. The CDC is based in Atlanta, and they laid off a lot of people with that piece, but it still hasn't affected kind of the growth and trajectory of what we believe is going to happen in the city over the next 5 to 10 years. And that's why a lot of people are coming. Not to mention, when I look at next year and what happened to Atlanta 20 years ago when they held 30 years ago, when they held the Olympics here, the 96 Olympics, and what it did to the city by putting it on the map. I look at the World Cup as doing the same thing from an international standpoint, being able to have the semifinal games here, depending on which teams are here. The city's going to be flooded. People are going to be seeing it for the first time. It's going to be on TV and all that stuff to help it have another boom potentially. So I just live what I preach. And the reason that I moved from the Northeast down to the Southeast was to pick a location where I could invest over the next decade. And I chose Atlanta over the North Carolinas, over the Floridas of the world, because I believe this one is protected a little bit from some of the natural disasters, because you don't have a ocean right there, right? You have Florida kind of protect you on one side and Alabama on the other side. That's one. And two, the diversity of employment.
Gotcha. Okay, that makes a lot of sense to me, actually. Thank you.
Of course. Come on now. Joel, what else you got, man? Anything else?
No, not right now. Right. In the meantime, I'm just kind of looking towards another thing is the tax strategy, tax savings. So I was able to connect with someone who I'm having a little bit of trouble getting back with, but we'll see what's going on. I ended up touching base inside my network for the standard and got in touch with a good financial planner, and he also connected me with a CPA who specializes in real estate. So I'll see how that goes.
That's the main piece, honestly. And Monk, you asked this earlier, the reason to go short-term or long-term rental. When I was in the W-2, I was in medical device sales. And there was some years where we had blowout sales, like a lot of dollars. And then you look at the check and like 40% of it's going to Uncle Sam. I'm like, what the heck? And so short-term rentals, especially if you have a lot of active W-2 income, can do two things for you. One, it can save you significantly on taxes. Like one of the deals we reviewed earlier with Lex and her husband is because they want to save money on taxes. And I'll give you an example. For that $400,000 house that I bought, which is that luxury sports art gallery I showed you earlier, I saved about $75,000 in taxes by doing a cost segregation and taking that bonus depreciation in the first year. And that was significant. I did the same on a fourplex that I bought 2 years ago for last year's taxes. Because I had half of it as short-term rental, half of it as long-term rental, I was able to do a cost seg on that and save about 150, 160K in taxes. And so it's a way to shelter some of your income as you start to get into the short-term rental game. But Joel, the caveat to that is you got to own the property, right? For the short-term rental piece. Other than that, the long-term rentals still give you tax benefits, but it's going to be slower and over time, right? It's going to be over 27 and a half years. And you're going to get just a little nugget each year of tax savings. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I guess sorry, I was trying to understand that for the tax part, like segregation, I will have to live in the property for the short-term rental to be able to deduct my tax.
No. So that's the whole thing. You don't want to be living in the property,
okay.
right? So with the short-term rental, you just go buy a short-term rental. You can put down 10% because it's a vacation home loan. And in that first tax year, right? So say you get a vacation rental right now, right? Before December, you put it into service this year. Like you have one person stay there this year. For tax season next year, you can do a cost segregation study on it. The cost segregation study is going to run you about $3,000, $3 to $5,000, depending on how big the property is. And they're going to be able to put together a whole engineering report where you essentially give it to your CPA and it saves you roughly 20% of the roughly 20% of the purchase price is what it saves you in taxes, which is pretty significant.
Oh, wow. Okay. So I guess my follow-up question is that I'm not really able to do it at this moment, but I'm probably going to do it like next year. I own my short-term for 4 years now, 4 or 5 years. And then I've been running it for about 2 years, I'll say. And can I still do it for the next year? And it would be the same thing if it's not the first year.
Yeah. So is it a long-term rental right now or short-term rental right now?
Right now, it's short-term rental.
Perfect. Yes, you can. As long as you had short-term rental and you can show that to the CPA, like, hey, this is a short-term rental last year. Here goes the bookings. You can do a cost seg on it. You don't have to do it year one. It just makes the most sense the first year you put it into service, but you don't have to do it year one. You can do that cost. You can do that cost seg this year or next year for this year's taxes if you want to save this year's taxes because it's already a short-term rental that's active.
I see. Okay, that's good to know. Thank you.
Of course. And if you need a CPA or help with that piece, let me know and I can send you the person I use for that.
Yeah. So for the CPA wise, are they going to be doing all of different states? Will be the same person, or are they gonna focus on one state particular?
Yeah, ideally you want a CPA that is well versed in real estate across the 50 states, right? Because it's not much changes from that standpoint with that piece. So the CPA that I use works across all 50 states, and they're focused on real estate investors. And the cost segregation firm that I use is also able to do it across all states. For smaller properties, they do a quote unquote drive-by, we'll call it. They're able to do it from afar with pictures, with videos, with the appraisal report. For larger properties, let's say 500K or more, they have to come in person and send somebody out to actually look at all the things to do a cost study.
Okay. Got it. Yeah, that'll be great if you can send me the recommendations for CPA and the segregation.
Sure, Long, I got you. And Joel, you were gonna say?
Oh no, yeah. So that's basically what I'm doing now is trying to build the support team. I have the information about trying to get cleaners. I get a good cleaner. Oh my gosh. And then definitely once I'm just kind of going full speed. I'm more so in a position now where I'm just trying to take action very quickly. A couple pieces I'm going to need is definitely probably internal design. That's one thing. And then on the tax side of things, also, I'm going to connect with the CPA that I haven't connected with them just yet, but I'm going to see what they're working with, see what's going on. But yeah, if you have any recommendations for any good CPAs in the Atlanta area, I'm definitely open to options right now. So I'm shopping for a good team.
Come on now, done and done. So CPA and then interior designer, and then you said cleaner?
Yeah, cleaner as well.
Okay. Done and done. So with the cleaner piece, this is one where as you grow and you continue building this crazy business, you're going to want to have a couple options. And so I actually work with 3 cleaning teams because we got 30 properties that we manage, including the 8 that we own, right? And those cleaning teams, we have different metrics for them. And so long story short, we have 3 that split all the properties. And if there's like an issue at one of the properties that a guest reports, we have a 3-strike rule, where if you have 3 strikes within 3 months, across any of the properties that you're cleaning, we take that property away and we give it to somebody else. And that has helped keep all of our team in line. Now, with one property, you don't really got to worry about that as much. But as you grow, you're going to want to get more cleaners because they're going to get busy. And not every cleaning team is good at expanding. For example, when we first started doing all this, we tried to have the same cleaning team grow with us. And it got to a point where that one person was working 7 days a week trying to clean like 10 properties. And that's not sustainable, right? It's just not. If you got 4 checkouts in the same day, that same team or same person, unless they're really good at operations, may not be able to do it. But that's something to think about down the road. Not for the first one. The first one, you should be solid. Second one, probably solid. When you start getting to 3 or 4, you may want to start looking and saying, okay, can this person expand or do I need to get another person to take the additional units?
Understood. Yeah, that's one thing. I like that. The 3 strikes you're out strategy. That's nice.
Yeah, it definitely helps because you get busy doing a lot of other things, right? Like I know you're busy. I know Mong's busy. I'm busy actually trying to help clients and things of that nature. And so you want to just as much as you can set boundaries and be very upfront with those so that people know and they can almost hold themselves accountable. Now they know like, oh man, if I mess another one up, I'm going to lose property. And it's like, hey, we talked about it up front.
So one thing I definitely want to know is like also for like your cleaners, do you more so specifically set them like on 1099 contracts or is it just based off the preference?
1099. So as much as you can, 1099. We don't really do anybody W-2 like that because you're getting paid per clean. And then we pay our cleaners through QuickBooks. So it just keeps track of everything. And initially, all your cleaners are going to want to get paid immediately after cleaning, which is understandable. They don't know you. You're trying to build a relationship. We've gotten to the point now with the size and scale that it would drive me crazy trying to do payments every day. And so now we pay on the 1st and the 15th. It's a lot easier. So we just pull all the cleanings for the last 15 days, send that payment out, and kind of go from there through QuickBooks.
Got you. Okay. And then another thing, so I'm kind of just running through. So funding wise, got the funding, got everything, got a chance to locate the property, approval through the front office, wherever it's at. Got everybody moving the furniture in, getting everything designed. So the designers, you have any recommendations on any good designers? Because I know there's a saying that sometimes a woman's touch is best. So, yeah. Oh.
This is true. So I don't have a design mind. I'll be the first to tell you. Like my design is like clean, right? Like I'm like, okay, this looks clean. I can move around. But when it comes to putting colors and pops of color and like, hey, we're gonna make this an accent wall and this is all gonna blend together and we should put a neon sign over here and here goes the string lights. I'm not the one to put it together. And so I highly recommend if you want it to pop to have that conversation. I will connect you after this. At least to see like, hey, is this within my budget or not? Now you can do the research and the work and look at all the other B&Bs, see what they're pulling in, see, okay, what do I need to put into this house and then buy the stuff and do it. I just know it looks a little different when somebody else does it. Just like when I iron my clothes, it looks a little different than when the dry cleaner delivers it to me ironed. I'm like, man, why is theirs all like crisp and mine looks a little beat up?
I hear for sure. Let's see, what's another piece? So after the design and everything set up, systems are in place. In terms of tax savings, I know you separate your business from your personal expenses. Let's see. So
The easiest way to do that too is just separate bank account. If you haven't already, just open a new bank account and put everything for the Airbnb in that bank account.
Yeah, got you. Businessman. And then for the CPA piece, if you have any recommendations on that, I'm definitely still shopping. I haven't kind of dialed in. I'm going to what I'm going to do is probably just compare, contrast, see what different people's price ranges are, see what services they've had. Kind of just do my due diligence on that.
Come on now, nothing wrong with that. And I hate to cut this a little bit short. We got 2 minutes left. I'm going to get kicked out of here because I'm in a coffee shop. But Joel, Mong, I appreciate you joining us this evening. Again, we do this every Wednesday from 4 to 5. We changed the time from late at night because I'm an early sleeper now with a newborn. And so we do from 4 to 5. And so I appreciate both of you guys joining. And I look forward to seeing you in the future. And I will hit you with the follow-ups. It just may not be right now. It may be early tomorrow morning with the connections.
Sure.
Awesome. Thank you.
Of course. See you guys. Be safe. See ya.
Yeah.
Join us every Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern as we explore different types of investments that can fast-track your path to financial independence.